Everyone in town knew Jake, not because of his greatness, but because of his voice. He talked too much, about everything, to everyone. He had opinions about the economy, though he'd never run a business. He gave advice to mechanics while struggling to fix a flat tire. He even told the mayor how to run town meetings, until one day, the mayor didn't answer him back. He just looked at Jake and said, "The river that makes the most noise carries the least water." The words stung, but Jake, of course, laughed it off and told 5 people about it. But deep down, something unsettled him. Jake's life was a whirlwind of words. He never listened long enough to learn. He dreamed of starting his own company, yet every opportunity he talked into existence seemed to disappear just as quickly. People grew wary of him. His mouth outran his actions. Whenever he got close to a deal, his over-explaining made others uneasy. He lost trust without even realizing it. Then one day, a rare traveler visited the town. A quiet old man named Ayan. No one knew where he came from or how he had built his wealth, but the moment he stepped into the town square, people listened. He barely spoke, but when he did, his words were few, and they echoed. Curious and hungry for guidance, Jake approached him loudly, telling him everything he wanted to achieve, everything he believed about business, and everything that went wrong. Ayan listened and said nothing. That silence made Jake nervous, so he kept talking. Finally, Ayan whispered, "When the mouth is full of noise, the ears have no space to grow." Jake paused. For the first time in his life, he was embarrassed. The words hit something he had never touched before: truth. And truth doesn't argue. It listens. That night, Jake didn't speak to anyone. The next morning, he did something he had never done. He observed. He watched the baker rise early and knead in silence. He saw how the local store owner restocked shelves without boasting. He listened to how the town elder settled disputes with calm words. He began to study people instead of talking over them. Days turned into weeks. He barely spoke. People noticed the change, but more importantly, they began to trust him. With new eyes and ears, Jake discovered what he never could before. He realized the town needed better delivery services. Instead of announcing his plan, he quietly built a small cart and tested it himself. No pitch, no speech, just action. It worked. Store owners saved hours. Jake helped them silently, and they paid him gratefully. He reinvested that money into a bigger cart, hired a helper, and improved his design. Still no announcements, still no boasting. Within a year, Jake had become the most successful entrepreneur in town. When the town council gathered to ask how he did it, expecting a long monologue, Jake simply smiled and said, "I used to think the world needed to hear me. Turns out, I needed to hear the world." Jake's transformation spread beyond business. He became a mentor, not through endless advice, but through example. Young people came to him, hoping for secrets. Instead, they were met with quiet tasks and patient silence. He taught them that power didn't always shout, it sometimes whispered, and in that silence growth bloomed. Years later, when Jake passed on, a plaque was placed beneath the oak tree in the town square with only 4 words: "Speak less, do more." Sometimes the loudest changes begin in silence, because in silence you don't lose power. You gather it,